Hey everybody, Aaron Kasnitz here, your Baltimore Ravens beat reporter for PennLive.com and the Harrisburg Patriot News. Today in our analysis video, we are going to talk about Brandon Carr and whether or not the Ravens will exercise the team option to bring him back for one more season on a deal that would be worth $7 million. Now, the team option contract, so the Ravens could save $6 million by cutting him or not picking up the option. So essentially, the Ravens have to decide, is Brandon Carr worth the $7 million that they would pay him? Because if not, they can use those resources. They can decline the team option, use those resources to go in a different direction. Now, one school of thought might be that the Ravens don't necessarily need to pay $7 million to Brandon Carr because they already have 5 starters in the secondary that they'll probably go with. That's all pro cornerbacks, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters on the outside at cornerback, Tavon Young in the nickel back position, that slot corner position, which is essentially a starter in the modern NFL. And then they just signed Chuck Clark to a contract extension, the safety, and they also have Earl Thomas, the 7-time Pro Bowler, at the back end there on the defense. So where does Carr fit in? Well, the thing that he brings is durability, and he also brings veteran leadership, and he also brings versatility. And those things are important when you talk about needing a backup. So yeah, you got a starting 5 in the secondary, but if any one of those guys gets hurt, Brandon Carr could help fill in. He played safety at the end of last season. He played slot corner. He played outside cornerback. He's done it all. He also hasn't missed a start in 12 NFL seasons, which really is remarkable when you think about it. 192 straight starts, by far the longest streak for any defensive player in the NFL. The Ravens could find ways to continue to start him if they brought him back, even though he would essentially be more of a role player, different package kind of guy. But when you're looking for insurance in the defensive backfield, a guy who's super durable and super versatile and is a good locker room guy, what more could you want? The question comes down to, if he's not a starter, is he worth the $7 million? Could the Ravens, release him and then find a good backup or draft a good backup, spend $2-3 million on that, and then have $2 or $3 million extra dollars to go and improve the front 7 or get a receiver? So that is the question. Brandon Carr, he's the back-to-back Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Ravens, so obviously there's a lot of respect in the building. The Ravens have to decide by March 18th whether or not they will exercise this option. They could much earlier decide to, it would be the nice thing to do if they're not going to keep him. It'd be the nice thing to do to let him know. Certainly the legal tampering period for free agency starts March 16th, so that's in 10 days now. So the Ravens must, at that point, they'll need to make a decision. It's likely Eric DeCosta, the GM, knows what he's going to do. They just have not announced it yet. And again, maybe Brandon Carr will be back. Maybe he'll be an important, insurance, second layer of insurance in the secondary. The Ravens have committed a lot of resources to the defensive backfield in the past. Or maybe Baltimore will move on. Carr will either decide to retire, continue his career somewhere else. That is the question, and we'll see what happens moving forward.